serving as the head of emergency management and developmental program at the Aga Khan Agency for Habitat.
More than 20 lakh mangroves around the coast of western coast of India has been leading the post-tsunami relief efforts. So we're showcasing the power of unity in the face of adversity.
You already have extensive experience in climate change adaptation.
Coastal cities like Mumbai or Chennai should focus on strengthening their existing infrastructure.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to FaceTime with Leaders, a podcast series by Directorsinstitute, World Council of Directors. I'm Sunny Bancholi, and today we have the opportunity to speak with an expert who brings over 2 decades of experience in strategic, operational, and fiscal leadership in challenging situations. Currently serving as the head of emergency management and developmental program at the Aga Khan Agency for Habitat. It is my pleasure to introduce Mr. Madhukar Sanap to the podcast. Mr. Madhukar, welcome and thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much, Sunny, and pleasure to be here with you to discuss about my work experience and I'll say thoughts around the environmental, social, and governance aspects. So pleasure to meet you.
Great to hear that. All right. So reflecting on your journey of more than 2 decades, what were some of the most rewarding experiences in managing emergency response and community development programs?
In fact, I'll say indeed, my journey for over last 2 decades has been immensely rewarding, particularly when I reflect on the impact on our team that had on the communities in need. Particularly, I can give a most current example of our work where we are supporting the various corporate agencies for achieving the target for net zero emission. So I'll say that's one of the core thing which is required immediate attention. And last 5 years we are working on it, and we have supported the various corporate agencies for achieving the target of the carbon sequestration and carbon credit in India particularly. So in last 3 years, almost around more than 20 lakh mangroves around the coast of western coast of India has been planted by us along with the various other terrestrial plantation. Because currently it's very challenging, I'll say, to ensure the net zero emission, because that can be achieved when all emission released by the human activities are counterbalanced by removing the carbon from the atmosphere in the process known as a carbon removal. And that is one of, I'll say, unique project pilot we have done in Western Coast in 2018-19. And I'll say in last 5 years, we have been able to expand a lot on it and spread across almost in 3 to 4 states now with various, I'll say, project under the environmental, social governance, and sustainability aspect of the community. In fact, happy to tell you that I have also received a FICCI award, FICCI Urban Smart Innovation Award for this particular program just recently before 2 months, where this solution was found as one of the very effective nature-based solutions which will restoring the coast of the country, and also like becoming a natural barriers between the communities and then coastal hazard particularly. So it can become a like if there is a storm surge, cyclone, or flooding, it can reduce the intensity of those kind of disaster. So these kinds of unique solutions we are finding out. Another, I'll say, one of the beauty of this particular program is introducing the technology that we are using the Internet of Things and the sensor-based technology to monitor the growth of the green infrastructure which are set up at the coast particularly. So which has become a decision-making tool for the community, government, and as an organization to us also. So if you have to take some precaution or some, I'd say, remedy need to be taken to ensure the growth need to be happen on timely manner. So this IoT-based technology is supporting us a lot. And for this technological innovation, we have been received award from FICCI in 2024 under the category of Smart Urban Innovation Award. So I think that's one of the core part. I'll say we are contributing. I'm contributing towards ensuring to meet the larger agenda of the climate change and disaster risk reduction at the country level. Another example I can give you, particularly addressing the issues with regard to the water scarcity, because when we talk about the disaster, climate change, and also the large mass of the country is staying under the drought-prone area, where we can see the extreme level of the water scarcity is there. And through our interventions, we are particularly we have been able to give the local solutions, how the ground surface water management need to be done, how the water management need to be done, and how the aquifer also need to be recharged. So the water scarcity for the long term need to be managed. And these are all LCK community-based initiative, which we started since 2000 and since 2017, and now gradually increasing in that, particularly working in three states of Maharashtra, three states of India, Gujarat, Maharashtra, and Telangana. And these all three states are covering a large part of the uh, water scarcity area, and that's where we are piloting. We are demonstrating these initiatives. So for this initiative also, we have received an award for championing water sustainability from prestigious Water Sustainability Award, which is awarded by the UNDP under the International Water Association, and the TERI under the Water Sustainability Award given by the TERI. So I'll say these are the two unique experiences I'm having where my intervention has directly supported in making a significant social impact in the most crisis-prone area in a recent last 5 year particularly. So indeed, so to say that lots of support from the government also received for piloting this, whether we are having the strategic partnership with state government as well as with the government of India, particularly with the Jal Jeevan Mission. And through that, we have been able to do the successful demonstrations of it and set up the community-led processes to address the current climate change issues in our country. And these programs are growing because there is lots of demand is there. So certainly those kind of technical inputs, expertise we are providing to the agencies, and we are moving on it. I can also give another example, which is my I'll say keep earlier example where one of most memorable experience was our response to the 2004 Indian tsunami, earthquake and tsunami. So during that time, I was in Andaman and Nicobar Island for immediate leading the post-tsunami relief efforts. So we faced lots of LCK adapting tasks of reaching to the multiple remote islands with the limited access. But our team's dedication ensured the swift delivery of the essential supplies and medical aid to the affected communities, almost 15 remote islands in Andaman Nicobar Island. So the local community has got the relief and medical supplies on timely manner. Additionally, establishing a long-term livelihood and child protection program in these regions have also left a lasting impact in these areas by focusing on the vulnerable families and children who have lost their families and were potential for any kind of exploitation of risk in those areas. So we have been able to provide them a safe and nurturing environment, giving them doing the handholding for rebuilding their life and pursue their dreams after the tsunami type of incidents also in these remote island. So I'll say that's a key achievement I feel for me by having very strong collaboration with the local administration, and most important is a local tribal council, which is a local body of the community in Car Nicobar, Little Andaman, and other islands, particularly showcasing the power of unity in the face of adversity. So I think these are the three key examples I'll say where I have been able to make a very significant impact and achieve the goals set by the national government under the International Panel of Climate Change, the agreement which was happened in Paris, and the various companies, various CSR companies, industries, and even other sector organization are getting the targets for becoming a net zero. And through our technical expertise, we are providing this support to them. So these are some of my experience there. Apart from that, I'll say two key highlight I can give to you based on that, because similar kind of support we have done in after the Kerala flood in 2022, where we have reached to that location, particularly Ernakulam, Alpaisi, Wayanad, and Idukki district in Kerala, where the immediate post-flooding relief, early recovery, and the rehabilitation support was provided along with the Kerala government in these districts particularly. One of my most memorable experience I can share with you, I think it was in 2004 onward, where I was got an opportunity to address the issues of the farmer suicide. There has been like agrarian crisis in part of our in different states, and fortunately played a very important role for addressing the farmer suicides and addressing the hardship of the farm widows and their children, and able to set up almost 375 micro enterprises for these farm widows, so their livelihood, earnings, and I'll say their food security and the protection issues can be addressed. So it was led to, along with the very strong network on ground, the various network of the civil society organization, and I got an opportunity to lead and facilitate this particular network and reach out to the large scale to provide such kinds of very crucial support to the agrarian community during that time. So I think these are some of my key experiences I had during my tenure, where I have received a immense, I'll say, satisfaction from my work that I'm contributing to address the larger impact, address the larger cause of the in these areas to the societies, and accordingly supporting them where the large scale social impact is being created.
Absolutely, Mr. Madhukar, and congratulations for all the awards and recognitions.
Thank you so much, Sunny, for your appreciation.
And Mr. Madhukar, it's truly inspiring to hear about the rewarding experiences you have had in managing emergency response and community development programs. And your long-standing commitment to these causes is both impressive and admirable. Mr. Madhukar, in face of uncertainty, preparation is the best defense. I guess you will agree with these statement of mine.
Yes, absolutely. Right. I completely agreement with you, Sunny, on it.
So keeping that in mind, how do you handle the challenges of implementing early warning systems and other disaster preparedness measures?
Yeah, particularly I'll say early warning systems is playing a very important role to safeguard the community. So then timely action can be taken both by the response agencies, administration, as well as the community to be at the safer place or to take the adequate action to safeguard themselves. And yeah, during my experience, I'll say the last 2 decade experience particularly, I have also got an opportunity to get engaged very effectively to develop the early warning systems and align with the various national and state government agencies for early warning system development related initiatives, particularly the engagement with Indian Meteorological Department, IIT Bombay, is very crucial for supporting development of such kinds of early warning systems at the city and the district level particularly. I can give 2 examples in this how we have supported the initiatives on it, because when we say the one of the key challenge in ensuring the effectiveness of these systems across diverse geography areas and communities is to how we can employ a tailored approach for customizing the early warning systems to the specific risk and which is the need of the each region particularly, because we are getting the I'll say city level, district level, or the state level forecasting, but there is a need to have the localized forecasting particularly. Like for example, if I'm taking example of Mumbai, so in Mumbai particular, Mumbai is a very large city. But within Mumbai, if I'm able to give the forecasting for Bandra East or Bandra West, or like suppose any other location particularly, so then it will become a localized forecasting, and that particular I'll say the people, citizens who are staying in that particular zone can take the immediate action to ensure the appropriate safeguarding action over there. So from this point of view, particularly, we have got an opportunity to work very closely with the municipal corporations in Mumbai metropolitan region for developing the early warning system for flood risk management, because flood is a recurring disaster in this area. And accordingly, the sensor-based model, the various low-lying areas, the sensor was installed and monitoring system was set up to provide the real-time data on water levels, enabling the timely alerts and evacuation in these areas. So I'll say this is a two-way process particularly. One is through the sensor-based data, water level, the information is coming on application, and based on that, the emergency agencies are taking action to either deploy the resources where the water pooling or I'll say any other evacuation need to be carried out in that particular area. Those actions need to be taken up. Road diversion can be taken up where the traffic jam related issues can be avoided in those areas. And most important part is giving information to the citizens in that area particularly, so people can avoid coming out during those peak hours or I'll say that crucial time. And also, like in case if somebody is staying in a low-lying area, so they can move to the upper side or at the appropriate safe shelter. So then the life and their valuables can be supported. So as mentioned that the early warning system development is very crucial for various type of disaster, because it's not only on flood or cyclone, but there are the India is prone for the multiple hazard, and accordingly the hazard specific alert and information dissemination early warning is required, and accordingly the systems need to be designed in a localized manner, so the local communities staying in that particular area can get the timely information and get prepared to respond to it. So my experience particularly, I have got an opportunity to work at for developing the early warning systems related designs and implementation in a three key hazards which are I'll say our country is facing. Within that, the first one is a flood risk mitigation, where we have been working with the municipal corporation and district administrations in Mumbai metropolitan regions, in MMR region particularly, and develop the sensor-based installations in the different low-lying areas, so we can get the real-time information about the waterlogging and the rainfall happening in that particular area. So then the response agencies can take the timely action and respond to that situation by deploying the various services and resources over there. Second important part is it is also tool which is providing the direct information to the community on if there is any evacuation or if they have to move to the other areas, so their valuables can be saved. So then community can also take a decision. People can also take a decision on it, and then enabling timely alert and evacuation for these community. Second example I can give, also got opportunity to work on the landslide risk mitigation aspects in Himalayan region particularly. So within that, you know that most of the Himalayan states in the north and northeast region of country are prone for landslide, and which is also a major hazard in those particular area. So the soil stabilization is one of the important initiative which need to be done. But apart from that, the along with the IIT Roorkee and some of other civil society organization, been able to demonstrate the initiatives on how the sensor-based installation in a hilly area, in a soil particularly, will be able to give the alert to the community, and the I'll say key installations, important crucial installations in Himalayan region, so they can get the timely alert and information. So then immediately the response activities can be implemented in a timely manner. So I'll say that was one of the I'll say second early warning system where I was directly engaged and play a very important role in it. Third important part is about the seismic hazard, where fortunately got an opportunity to work with the National Disaster Management Authority, which is LCK under the Ministry of Home Affairs, Government of India, where we have designed the seismic early warning system for Government of India, and it is mainly to be pilot in the Himalayan region. So then the critical installations and the safeguarding of the community can be done. Now developing this thing is very difficult, I'll say, because the alert time is mainly between like 15 second to maximum it will go around 40 to 50 second. But because that is I'll say very crucial life-saving period, and where we can safeguard our infrastructures and the people staying in those particular area. So I'll say these are the three key early warning systems where I had an exposure to work directly with the key experts at the national level and various international and national agencies along with the government of India. So by involving these members particularly, we have been able to build the trust and encourage active participation in disaster preparedness measures in these areas.
All right, Mr. Madhukar. Your approach to overcoming these challenges of implementing early warning systems and disaster preparedness measures is truly a lesson. And it's clear that your strategies play a vital role in safeguarding communities. As I can read, you already have extensive experience in climate change adaptation. So how do you think an extensive knowledge of ESG principles will influence your approach towards disaster management and community resilience?
I think very important question, because these interlinkages are very important in current I'll say development sector initiatives. So in fact, I got an opportunity to get associated with the Directorsinstitutes and undergo the environmental social governance courses, and given the immense information and knowledge on these ESG and related areas, and how the integration can be done in a various aspect of the climate change adaptations and the disaster risk management strategies. So based on that particularly, I'll say my knowledge of the ESG principles combined with my experience in climate change adaptations allows for Lucy's understanding of the interconnectedness between environment, social, and governance factor. This integration enhances our disaster management strategy in several ways. Firstly, by considering the environmental factor, we can identify and mitigate the root causes of the certain disasters, such as reducing greenhouse gases emission to lessen the intensity of climate-related events in our areas. Secondly, the social aspect of ESG ensures that our responses are equitable and inclusive. This means prioritizing the need of the vulnerable community, promoting their participation in decision-making processes, and ensuring their access to resources and services. And another most important part which I have I'll say helped for the ESG principles is robust government structures enable better coordination, transparency, and accountability, leading more effective and sustainable disaster management outcome in our work particularly. So these are some of the key learnings we had by approach having the ESG principles in our day-to-day work.
All right. Okay. The way you are integrating ESG principles with your disaster management strategies is truly forward-thinking, Mr. Madhukar. And it's fascinating to see how this knowledge enhances community resilience and sustainable development. This reminds me of an article that I read a few days back, which says that sea levels are constantly rising on an yearly basis. And it's no longer far-fetched to imagine some of India's coastal cities to be submerged in water within this very century. So, according to you, how can India plan effectively to handle the risk of rising sea levels, especially in busy coastal cities such as Mumbai or Chennai, etc.?
In fact, I think this is another very important discussion point, which I'll say the various level, the various high level platforms are discussing about this very important question. To handle such kinds of initiative, the long-term effective planning is required to mitigate the risk of the rising sea level, and it need three I'll say strategies particularly. One is about developing the appropriate policies, long-term policies, which need to be applied in a coastal areas, particularly where the regulation of the coastal regulation managements need to be ensured for all the sectors, so we can secure our coast. The second one is also the infrastructure improvements in these areas are very important, and most important part is about the community engagement is also important to handle this, because without community participation, community-led processes, things will not move. So the community-led processes are very important. Now, planning for the risk of rising sea level requires multi-pronged strategies that involve both short-term and long-term intervention. In the immediate term, coastal cities like Mumbai or Chennai should focus on strengthening their existing infrastructure. This include reinforcing sea walls, upgrading drainage systems, and ensuring the critical facilities such as hospital and emergency response centers are located in the area less vulnerable to the flooding. Because the very important point which I mentioned about the upgrading drainage system is very important, because we have the example of 2005 Mumbai flood, or later the massive flood was happening in Chennai also, where the major issue was this overall, there are lots of issues came due to the limitation on the drainage systems at the city level, where in city water was not able to move out, and same time the high tide was there, floodgate was closed, so multiple challenges was there. So the comprehensive planning and execution for the city level drainage management system is very important, and at the same time need to ensure all our critical facilities in a safe area are maintained properly. So if there is any emergency responses are required, so then the critical centers will be available to support it. In a long term, particularly, I'll give the more emphasis on urban planning policies must incorporate the climate change consideration, because climate change should not be seen as in isolation. It is an integrated part of various sectors, and for urban planning, need to be seen from the climate action lenses. So anticipating the future challenges, the city level climate action, the urban planning need to be done. This could involve also implementing setback regulation for new construction along the coastline. But we also need to see that what type of constructions are happening in coastal line, the permissions, the the coastal boundaries are being maintained or not as per the CRZ rules and regulations. So therefore, this applying the implementation of the regulations for the new construction in the coastal area is very important. Second part is about the promoting the development of the green spaces and natural buffer is also important, because now the one of the challenge we are having is our open green spaces and natural buffers are getting abolished or eradicated in the coastal areas. We can say the lots of I'll say open spaces, green infrastructure is getting abolished in the coastal areas due to the various other infrastructure development related initiatives. Those need to be protected. And lastly, I feel the encouraging the adaptation of the resilience building design that can withstand increasing the flooding and erosion. So that is also very important, because we can learn from the example of Philippines, Netherlands, the kind of innovations they have adopted to safeguard the city from the increase sea level rise. So we need to learn from that and see what other things can be demonstrated in our country also. And additionally, the nature-based solutions also play a very important role for coastal restoration, such as the restoration of the mangroves and coral reef, can provide the natural defense against rising sea level and coastal erosion, while also enhancing the biodiversity and ecosystem services in those areas. So overall, I feel that we need to have a very comprehensive approach to address the sea level related issues and the other coastal hazard, how we can mitigate in the coastal area particularly. So very comprehensively we need to think and need to have a very comprehensive approach towards it.
Absolutely, Mr. Madhukar. And your insights are incredibly relevant. And it's essential to consider the strategies you have outlined to safeguard our future. All right. So moving forward, one last question to round off our session. And here it is. As you have enrolled in a course from Directors Institute for your boardroom journey, how much have you gained from it?
Okay. In fact, it was a very, I'll say, very good experience for me for getting the upskilling my professional knowledge and also understand the various real world scenarios from the environmental social governance aspects and see what are the best practices and learnings across the globe can be implemented or adopted in our country particularly. So from that point of view, I'll say the course which I have was enrolled was very helpful, given the lots of hand-on experience and knowledge to me on various ESG practices at different level. The courses I undertook from the Director Institute provided me the comprehensive toolkit to navigate the complexity of the boardroom and strategic decision making. One of the key takeaways was the importance of the holistic thinking and considering the long-term implications of our choices. For example, we explored the concept of the triple bottom line, which emphasizes people, planet, and profit. The perspective has influenced my approach to balancing the social, environmental, and economic consideration in the decision-making processes. So I have started linking these critical, I'll say, concepts into my day-to-day work or decision-making process particularly. So we can say the larger community can benefit and we can have a high quality impact in the project areas. Furthermore, these courses also offer valuable insights into the governance and compliance matter, understanding the legal and regulatory framework that govern organizations help me navigate potential risks and ensure compliances with relevant standards. The practical case studies and interactive discussions with I'll say fellow professionals broaden my perspective and equip me with the skills to tackle a wide range of challenges. So I think that's the way this overall support has been very supportive, very helpful to me, and I've deeply appreciated the enlightenment conversations which I was doing with the key faculty and the member of the Director Institute was very helpful. So thanks to them for this kinds of immense support.
Thank you. Thanks a lot for that grateful response, Mr. Madhukar. And I also deeply appreciate the enlightening conversation we have had and your thoughtful responses throughout. Your ability to lead with a strategic vision truly makes you an invaluable asset to any organization striving to make a positive impact on society. As you continue to face future challenges, I wish you all the best. And your expertise and commitment will undoubtedly guide you to even greater achievements.
In fact, thank you so much, Sunny, for your facilitation of having these great discussions with me today. I also learned a lot during my journey with the Director Institute from learning on whether it is a core principles and approaches of the for the environmental, social, and governance aspects, and also the overall business sustainability related initiatives. So long ways to go to integrate all those things in our various sectors, and I'm sure we'll move towards it. So thank you so much to you for your time and today. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us today, and have a nice day.
Yeah, thank you so much.